chapter 4, verses 1 to 13. Hear ye children the instruction of a father, and attend to know understanding. For I give you good doctrine. Forsake ye not my law, for I was my father's son. He taught me also, and said unto me, Let thine heart retain my words, keep my commandments, and live. Get wisdom, get understanding, forget it not, neither decline from the words of my mouth. Forsake her not, and she shall preserve thee. Love her, and she shall keep thee. Wisdom is the principal thing. Therefore get wisdom. With all thy getting, get understanding. Exalt her, and she shall promote thee. She shall bring thee to honor, when thou dost embrace her. She shall give to thine hand an ornament of grace, a crown of glory shall she deliver to thee. Hear, O my son, and receive my sayings, and the years of thy life shall be many. I have taught thee in the way of wisdom. I have led thee in right paths. When thou goest, thy steps shall not be straitened, and when thou runnest, thou shalt not stumble. Take fast hold of instruction. Let her not go. Keep her, for she is thy life. Let's pray. Dear Heavenly Father, thank you for this passage. Thank you for everything given to us, Lord. I pray that you'll just help us understand the wisdom contained here. And Lord, I pray that you'll just help us to understand the importance of following after Father's instructions. And Lord, I pray that you'll just be with us as we consider your word. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen. Starts out, it says, Hear ye children, the instruction of a father. The instruction of a father. Here in this passage has been contributed, my son, it is in these chapters, my son. So he's seeking to appeal to his son as an individual. Now he's seeking, as here in this section, in this purpose here, in this momentary focus here, it goes back to his son in a moment, but here at the beginning of the chapter, instead of like all the other chapters, in chapter 5, my son, chapter 6, my son, chapter 7, my son, and then so forth, all the way up to 7, it says, my son. But here it says, hear ye children, the instruction of a father, Now he's appealing not just to his son, not just focusing on his son, but all children to their father. All children to their father. So he is appealing in the role of a father, not just in the role of a person, but in the role of a father, of that familial aspect of his nature. And he says, intend to know understanding. You need to realize that your father, the father that you all have, all children have fathers. Everybody has a father. And we need to realize that fathers don't just tell you to do things for the sake of them having a power trip. They don't tell you to do those. They tell you and instruct you because they want you to do something, because it's good for you, because it is something that history, as it repeats itself, everybody with a father, with children, have sought to do this to have good children and to have good fathers. They all sought this direction. And here in this passage, it is emphasizing the importance of all fathers speaking to all children, that they need to listen to one another. You can't have this in society today. We have a lot of people that forsake father and mother. They forsake that familiar spirit, that the humanity within each other, and they refuse to hear the instruction of a father and to understand their father. Oh, that's an old generation. I don't care about that generation. We're the new generation. This is new times, new days, new things. I'm going to listen to all the other voices but my father. Here it says, it's the appeal of a father to his children. Hear ye children, the instruction of a father. Not just the father, but a father. In general, it's a general command, it's a general plea. And in fact, this passage is opening in a plea, not necessarily in like, you better do this, but it's pleading with the child. It's pleading with the child. A father, as a father pleads with their child, my son, hear my wisdom, as all parents plead with their children. So Solomon here is talking to his son as the individual. He's talking, and fathers talk to their children as individuals, but they're saying, hey, I'm not the only person that instructs people in this way. All fathers with their children instruct their children, if they want to be good parents, in this way. In other words, he's appealing to the understanding that this father is not alone. This father is alone, but rather generation after generation have passed down these instructions and have succeeded with their children. So it is not just one day the dad woke up, this man who happened to have offspring woke up one day and said, I think I'll mess with the minds of my children and provoke them to wrath and to do all these crazy things and make sure that they never understand any direction I give them. Now there are fathers like that. There are parents like that. They just get a power trip over messing with the minds of their children. And that's wrong, that's evil, that's wicked. But here in this passage, we're appealing to the good father, the good children, the way things ought to be. In a society, things happen in a certain way, in a certain method to produce a certain product. Now, we go to a factory. You don't just wake up one day and decide that a factory that is going to produce pencils is going to be completely empty, and you're just going to put over here, you're going to put a lathe, and over there you're going to put a diving board, and over there you're going to put a little pond for fish, a koi pond or something. And you're just over here randomly, you're going to put some other crazy does nothing. You're going to put over here a typewriter, and you're going to put over, maybe you can use some of these things to make pencils. Maybe you can use a typewriter to write orders, but a koi pond, maybe the enjoy of the day. Maybe they work at, Twitter with their little fancy relaxation pools and stuff. But generally we understand that a factory has a set method of being placed to build the certain product. And when that product comes out, there's quality control. The product is always the same. It has to have a consistency. And so we have here in this, hear ye children, the instruction of a father. This is the way fathers operate. This is the way children ought to be. This is a factory for producing pencils. This is a factory for producing honorable, godly children. There is no mystery in this production. There is no mysterious, I don't know if my child will turn out right or not. We're just groping in the dark for whatever works. No, this is, hear ye children. This is a product. This is the base product I'm going to send you through, just as all other fathers have a method. They have a procedure. They have a process. Unfortunately, everybody is in life, a lot of times, the reason why they have a lot of problems with children is not that there's a method, that there's a procedure, now obviously, when you have a factory producing pencils, every once in a while you get a pencil that's messed up, right, and it gets tossed off the line. But ultimately, when you open a box of pencils, you open those number 2 pencils ready to take your test, they all are uniform, they all look the same, they're all perfect. That didn't happen by accident. The same way it is with every child that is produced. When you have offspring, the production of that child to a wise child, the production of that child to one that will love wisdom, desire wisdom, is produced each generationally exactly the same. There is no mysterious mystery on how to produce children. Now, occasionally you'll get an Absalom. Occasionally you'll get a crazy person. Occasionally you do, but those are the mistakes and not the rule. Those are not the general person. Well, because we get Absaloms and because we get mistakes in pencil making, therefore there's no mysterious way, there's no practical way to make pencils. Because look at all these broken pencils. You go to a pencil maker and say, look at all these broken pencils you have, therefore it must follow that there's no right way to make a pencil. That guy will laugh you out of town. He'll say, there is too a right way, look at all my perfect pencils. See, a lot of people today are using the broken pencils to claim that the system is broken. But the problem is that they have no quality control. They didn't care to operate properly. Here, the appeal is for the children to realize that they are in a process that has been happening generation after generation. And it's a process that works. And that they submit to their fathers. Children, you children, if you submit to your father, if you hear the instruction of your father, this will happen. You will desire, you will seek it, you will love it, you'll desire it. And it starts out with, hear ye children, the instruction of a father, and attend to know understanding. It's the father's job to get a hold of their children, to get them to attend unto their instruction, and attend unto know understanding. If your child doesn't understand, get them to understand. Oh, well, he doesn't understand, I tried. Get them to understand. Appeal to them. Desire to them. Compel them. Ye children, the instruction of a father, and attend to know understanding. Attend. Hear ye. Hear ye, children. It's a command and an appeal. It's got the force of law, and it also got the force of an appeal. Compassion and law. Reward and punishment. Children, the instruction of a father. He's using all forces that he has as a father, the authority figure of a father, and to get his children to understand. It's a process. It's a thing that they're going to go through together. Each one has a role to play. The father appealed to their children. The children to listen to their father. This is the foundation of getting them to where they need to be. If you can't get your children to listen to you, nothing you say will matter. Nothing you do will matter. Here in the children of Israel, it says, hear ye children, the instruction of a father, and to get understanding. In Deuteronomy chapter 6, God also commanded the fathers and the children to have a certain method in which they would learn in their home. A lot of times, today's American family, they don't have a method of raising their children. It's basically, I'm going to go to work. When I get home, I'm going to have my beer and my newspaper, or today the phone, flipping through whatever social media. I'm going to be watching my football game, and don't bother me. You know, when I get up in the morning, we might have breakfast together. Hey, how you doing? And my little kids suddenly, 20 years later, they I don't know how they turned out, because in the morning they were always nice kids. They went off to school, living in the world. When they came home, they saw me watching TV and hanging out and relaxed and no instruction whatsoever. And then they all went to bed, and we did that for 20 years. And I don't know why my children went bad. I gave them some instruction here, I gave them some advice there, guided them here, but I had no idea. Why did they go bad? What happened? Well, when it was time to take them to church, when it was time for family devotions, I got no time for all that stuff. Well, I'll let mother take. I'll let somebody else do that. I'll let them go to church and hear it in Sunday school. I'll let them go to school and learn instruction. And I'm just going to sit back and relax and enjoy my day. I work hard, I go home and relax. That's kind of the traditional American style. And because of it, we have poor quality control within our children. In Deuteronomy chapter 6, verse 6 through 9, God instructs Israel's fathers in this raising of children this way. And he said, and these words which I command thee this day shall be in thine heart. You want to have your children receive things and have them in their heart? To have wisdom in their heart? You need to have it in yours. You need to first instruct yourself. If you have no discipline in your life, how do you expect your children to have that discipline? If you have no instruction in your life, how do you expect your children to have instruction? And these words which I command thee this day shall be in thine heart. He said, it will be there. You need to have this.